remember back in college, my dad was like, hey, save 10 grand. You can get your first multifamily. I was like, that's it. I was like, 10 grand. Gave him 10 grand. That took me like a year. Then gave him the 10. He's like, all right, perfect. Save another 10. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? He's like, if I told you to save like 30 grand, you would have never have done it. So like, come back with another 10. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So since then, so I've bought that, bought this, bought another one in Hudson, and then when we had met, I was working in Boston, and that was kind of like my bread and butter, is like helping folks like get into multifamilies. A lot of kids like our age, like they're late 20s, early 30s, they're like trying to like lower their living expenses. They're renting in Southie or Dorchester anyways. It's like, how do I teach them to own the building and like lower their rental and increase their equity,
Yeah.
So, but you guys know this. I don't need to tell you this.
Well, welcome to the show, man.
What's up?
Oh, I guess we're already on.
We're on.
Okay.
We're moving. Alex.
Not Alex.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for hosting us in your beautiful home.
Humble abode.
You do nice work. It's really nice for humble. When I think of humbled, I think of something else. No, that's awesome, man. Cool. Well, so and you got a baby?
Got a baby. We got a 6-month-old. He just turned 6 months last week. He's been to more places in the past 6 months than I have in 31 years, which is fantastic. We just got back we were in Spain for 2 weeks. We were in Barcelona for a little while. We were in Florida for a couple of weeks. We're really just trying to break him out of his shell so he doesn't get uncomfortable anywhere. But it's good. It's good. He's probably going to be coming back in like an hour. So we'll get to meet him.
I fit easy in storeway. So if you don't want to just break me out of my shell, make sure I'm comfortable.
Oh, and you're a blast to bring around. So we could definitely bring you.
There's like two types of new age parents. There's like the new age parent who like never wants to take their baby anywhere.
Yeah.
And they
totally
completely shelter them. And like, they think like taking a 2-year-old to a restaurant's a different story.
Oh,
but taking like a 6-month-old to a restaurant is like, a whole adventure. And then you have the other side, which is take them to Spain, take them to Florida, take them on the boat, I
think it's yeah, that's right. I think it's good, like, bring them out and like, I think we have friends and family that it's like hard for them to bring their kids out, but they never go out. So when they go out, it's like, they get so excited. He also obviously gets excited, but I think it's just like patience. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
You were here. So we did a big 30th birthday party a couple of years ago. And you came, and your daughter was pretty young. She was only a couple months.
What year was that?
That was
summer 2023.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, she would have been like less than a couple months.
She was like, and I remember like looking at like, I was like, this is awesome. Like you're bringing your daughter out and she's just a newborn. Like this is like, that's how it should be. Like we had like a beer truck here. We had like a DJ and live music and we were having a good time and it wasn't an issue, It
was great.
Did you put like little earmuffs on her and then a little beer?
I don't think it was that long.
No, but we have put her in the earmuffs before. We took her to a basketball game at BC.
Oh yeah.
She was probably like under a year.
Yeah.
Put the little headphones on her.
Yeah.
It's fun. But yeah, you just take them places. And like, when they start to that toddler age, like now I don't like to go out to restaurants. If it's just, unless there's other people around to sort of shoulder the burden because like she's just nuts running around, like just causing havoc. It's like not relaxing at all. And one parent is always like up taking care of them. And so you're just kind of sitting at the table. It's not
definitely
fun.
not easy.
Rather be at home. But
do you have like, do you guys now have like, parent friend groups with children your same age that you guys can like go out and...
Totally. I think you start to, like the weekends, it's like, we have him the entire weekend. So it's like, your buddies that want to go hang out at the bar and watch the football game. It's like, ooh, would love to do that, but probably not a good thing to do. Is there dads out there that are at the bar with their little ones that we can do that with?
Can you just strap them to your chest?
Totally. We've done that too. It's fun, but I think it's like then you got like nap time, and then it's like You know, so like for example, we want to go to the U.S. Open. I don't know if you guys are into tennis.
You're shitting in the fourth corner.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's you got to just like play. You got to adapt. Like we want to go to the U.S. Open, but that's like an all day thing. It's like there's no way.
Yeah.
Like he would last all day.
Right.
Like Barcelona was like one thing where it's like you can go to Sagrada Familia and then come back to the hotel. You can go out to lunch and then like come back to the hotel. Like you go to like a big long like you want to watch a Patriots game somewhere. It's like that's 4 hours of commitment. He's actually walking in right now. We were just talking about you.
That's okay.
Speaking of nap time.
Yeah, speaking of nap,
it's past my nap time.
Hi, boys. So yeah, but it's fun. Wouldn't change it for the world. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You soon to know. Hopefully, do you want kids?
Yeah, I would like kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a timetable.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about being a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not super worried about it, but I've thought about. I come from a really small family,
Right.
so
We
I
were
love
talking about that, yeah.
I love the idea of a big family. I love the idea of a big family.
Yeah.
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 It's cool.
I told Kelly's family that I was like, because I don't know exactly how serious I am. I guess we'll see with each subsequent kid. But I'm like, I'd love like 5 kids.
Yeah.
Because I want to be like the Godfather.
Right.
In like 50 years or maybe not 40, but maybe without like the murder. And like the jail and all that.
I think you have missed a line. I think Godfather as God. Like, I think he's supposed to direct you to God.
Like the movie The Godfather.
Yeah, I know.
Without killing people.
I want to be like the Godfather.
Yeah.
Make you an offer you can't refuse.
Speaking of The Godfather, you haven't gotten into kids' movies yet.
No, not yet.
So
Not yet.
Zootopia, great one, hilarious.
Heard Mrs. Rachel or Miss Rachel.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's good it's good education. The movies start to come around like maybe like 1.5. But some of them are brutal. Cocomelon, stay away from Cocomelon.
Oh my God.
It's terrible. Just go straight for the Disney.
Because and then they just want to you're just playing Cocomelon all day long.
All day
Oh my
long.
God.
Yeah, I've seen Zootopia like 50 times the past.
Oh my God.
4 months.
Really. My go-to was Fantasia and Aristocats.
Fantasia sounds familiar, Aristocats.
Never seen Aristocats?
No. Maybe I have. I just haven't seen it.
He's too young.
Hey, you're insulting Alex. He's only like a year or two older than me. Yeah, he is hip.
At 34, that's the right.
That's how I know.
Boom. Do you know what you know about Fantasia? Boom.
Both great movies, yeah.
Do you know about
I like Fantasia.
There we go. All right,
I
we're on
had
the-
seen. I couldn't tell you like the plot. Aristocats, I do remember watching a lot of. It's like older, more classic Disney.
Sure.
Like the 50s.
It's
60s.
a music. It's a musical. It's like it's basically cartoons to a symphony
Gotcha.
playing music.
Gotcha.
So it's just an animation and it's very creative and different. I watched it as a 31-year-old and I was like, this is different. I was like, what? This is weird. But yeah, that and Aristocats, I would fall asleep to it every night.
That's awesome. Yeah, the tables have turned.
It does. You know.
Is Barney still around? Is that
No, I don't think so.
Wasn't there something that happened with Barney? Wasn't there like a legal battle that happened?
Barney caught a case?
Yeah, Barney. Barney did catch a case.
Was there something inappropriate with Barney?
I don't know. But no, or am I thinking who was the guy that was it the Blues Clues guy or was it like
He got in trouble. I'm
no?
pretty
Who's the guy that wore like the red sweatshirt?
Oh, Mr. Rogers.
Wasn't there something with Mr. Rogers?
He was like all tatted up and I believe.
I don't know if there was. There's like a documentary on his life.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Hanks did that movie. where he played Mr. Rogers.
That's right.
I think he's still kind of wholesome, but I don't know. Could be
Yeah.
wrong.
No. But anyways,
But,
what else
yeah.
is going on? What else is new other than kids and Disney movies?
Well, we're still very much in the real estate business. We're still doing it. We're about an hour west, Western Mass. You ever take a trip out there beyond your college days?
Honestly, it's been a while since I've been out there.
Yeah.
I think we Yeah, I think we went like 2-3 years ago.
Nice.
You like
It's good.
basketball?
No, I played rugby there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played rugby. It was nice because it was like club, and you had practice like twice a week, and then you had games on the weekend. Met a lot of great dudes out there.
It's a cool school.
The whole
awesome
area.
school.
I mean, you have like, I forget what they call it, like the 5 college, area. You have Amherst, you have UMass, you have, what's the girls' school out there?
In Northampton.
Smith.
Smith.
And then
There's
Mount Holyoke is
Mount
another.
Holyoke.
HCC is in
Yeah.
there.
Springfield's not too far from there.
We have a lot of universities over there.
It's
We have a
crazy
ton.
amount. Like you wouldn't even think about it. I mean, we'll probably get into this, but like from a rental perspective, it's fantastic. The food scene out there is like second to none.
Whoa. Slow it back. Tell me about the food scene.
So it's actually funny when I went back, a lot of the food places that we grew up going to, or when we were in college, grew up, I should say, some of them weren't there. Like I forget. So like there's, at least for Amherst, like there's like, you have like Antonio's, which is like the classic. They have that burrito place, I'm blanking on the name, that's like really good. That's right downtown. They had that place right on Main Street that did those popovers. Do you remember which one I'm talking about? No. That was fantastic, but they closed that and they turned it into like an oyster kind of like brunchy kind of bar. But what's insane is you drive through downtown Amherst now, and there's buildings everywhere.
Yep.
Like before it was like, there was maybe like one mid-rise, and I lived in it. It was like probably 4 or 5 stories high. Now they're like everywhere.
Yep.
Which is nuts. But I mean, you guys know it's crazy.
I think it's actually a really good area for us to look at and target because UMass needs more people. So does UConn. UConn needs a lot more housing.
Yeah.
And you're right. You get the nice benefits. They usually pay a little bit more for the rentals, and then a lot of times you get the parents to co-sign.
That's my parents definitely helped co-sign. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you think about it from like if you've ever had tenants,
It's like not
or
even an
units-
option.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just like standard.
Right.
No, I'm not renting an apartment to a 19-year-old, no job.
Right.
Yeah. What am I? An
But
idiot?
mom, I want an apartment. But mom, I have to live off campus.
Well-
Everyone's doing it.
It's funny when I don't know if you guys have ever been like south of Amherst. They have like they call them the townhouses, where they're like these like
big
2-story.
party. That's
Yeah, they have
right.
like the big parties there. I
Been
remember my junior year. I was like, oh, I want to live there. Like that's where like all the parties happen. That'll be fun. We lived there, and I think I was like paying like $300 a month, and we split. It was a 2-bedroom, and me and a buddy shared a bedroom, and then like our other friend rented the other one. But I mean, we were paying probably like $1,000 total, like less. And then I remember the following year they had built this like mid-rise that was like 4 or 5 stories high. It was called Kendrick Place, and it was like the first one. It's like right at the corner when you're entering into UMass, and it was like $3,000. So it was like $1,000, and it was a 3-bedroom. And I remember like calling my parents. I'm like, oh yeah, like we're gonna live in a different building now. And they're like, oh yeah, sure. Like how much is the rent? I'm like, $1,000. They're like, holy crap, you were paying $300 last year. And I'm like, yeah, the market's crazy.
Market's crazy.
But it was awesome. I mean, living downtown. And like, that's the thing. I mean, Holyoke's the same. You got all this like downtown bars. Like, is Holyoke, am I thinking of, it's got to be Holyoke. They have like that tunnel bar that everyone.
No, you're thinking of Northampton.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay.
Northampton.
Yeah, that one. That's really
Northampton's a much more
Developed.
Holyoke, much more developed. Holyoke has as much potential. There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Holyoke in Holyoke's way.
Yeah. And Alex, did you grow up out there, or you just moved out there later?
No, I moved out there later.
Yeah.
It was really come 2020, 2021 when we were really planning on. We had done our first deal. We didn't exit it successfully, but we had created a good value prop in the building.
It was that like large brick building? I remember. Yeah.
Bought it. We bought it 360, put like 4 into it, and it was worth 1.6.
Wow. That's awesome.
That was like, oh wow, this was by right, no special permitting. We can do this over and over again. And it was as we started to look at more of those types of projects, it kind of came to the point where it was like, we should probably be closer to it, because we were driving from Quincy, there and back a couple
it's
times
like a
a week.
2.5 hour.
Yeah.
It's
So,
crazy.
if and with traffic, you're on the road for 4.5 to 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's just like, so yeah, we decided to sell the Quincy home and move out there. And that was C'est La Vie. That's about 2 years ago.
Wow. And that building, was it a commercial building that you converted, or it was residential prior to? Okay. For some reason I thought it was commercial, you converted into resi.
They have a lot of bigger density buildings in Western Mass and Holyoke.
Interesting. Okay.
Because it was one of those it was one of the mill cities of America.
Sure.
So there was a lot of manufacturing and industrial stuff downtown, still is. So there was a lot of very dense housing all around it, and that still exists. It's kind of weird because it's like you can't really find that level of density in a lot of neighborhoods around here.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's like one of those big small cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even
for
at its
sure.
peak, it was maybe only like 80,000 people, which I guess maybe like 70 years ago was still a lot. Now it's kind of like a mid-sized city, but it's geographically it's like reasonably small. But when you're in it, feels like, oh, this would be very lively.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Can we back up for a second?
Yeah.
How did you stumble upon? So, because a guy from Quincy to stumble upon out in Holyoke, it's like, it's like holy. That feels
Holy.
like holy Holyoke. That seems like way out there. Like
Yeah.
when and you guys know this when you talk to developers and stuff that are comfortable with Boston, like they think anything past Worcester is like,
Yeah. People are like,
They still do.
No, I'm not going
Yeah.
there.
They still do.
oh, for
They
sure.
still
They'd
do.
rather go buy in Nashville
Yeah.
than in Western. They think
Totally.
like the Southeast is like closer
Yeah.
than what not Holyoke, but just like Western Mass.
Yeah,
It's
for
weird.
sure.
It's actually
For
really.
sure.
It's actually.
It's odd.
It's odd. It's been very, very hard to get money out there.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I've noticed like a lot of people, they want more money than ever for their money. They want like the cost of it, if they're going to partner with you, is very high, even on like a debt perspective now. It's just the cost of capital is very expensive. So when you look at investments or possibilities that can achieve the type of value they want, it's like it scares them because it's like, well, that your money creates value when it grows. So you have to grow assets. If you go buy a nice 3-family in Southie and move the rent up 5%,
Takes forever to freaking
it takes a
grow.
long time,
Yeah.
and you're moving it from here to here.
Right.
But if you can, and you can de-risk projects with good investment strategies, you can de-risk them. But if you can take something from here and move it to here, you still have a lot of room in the future. But taking something from that lower, it's the same thing with Chelsea
Yeah.
on Central Ave,
Right.
right? Like that building was dilapidated, condemned by the city. Like people didn't want it, and we were able to close on it and sell it for 3 times what we bought it for
amazing.
as condos. But you had to go into the ugly situation.
Totally. And that was like where Chelsea was like, even still, people are like, oh, Chelsea.
Right.
Like, and the value add, I don't get how people make it work. East Boston is the new Southie. It's like you can't get in there and get anything that's going to have like a decent cap rate if you're holding it, or if you're going to go and try to flip it. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I see people doing deals in East T, and I mean, I haven't looked at a lot of those markets in a long time, like trying to do the math on them, but I'm like, dude, how are they making money? I mean, they must be putting like 70%,
Right.
At least 50% of the project is their own equity. Like
Yeah.
that's the only way that I can see them making money.
That's the difference. It's like, okay, I'm going to buy this thing for 1.2 and I'm going to put 600 of my own cash into it. Great. It works when you're looking at $600,000 of debt. And when you look at, we've learned there's a lot of different buckets for investors. They want, some want capital preservation. That's where they go into those really high-end markets where, it's going to be slower moving. The value's a bit more insulated. But then if you want growth, that's a different asset class. It's a different type of project. If you want, just stable income, right? There's a lot of different
Totally, I agree with
risk
that.
versus reward tolerances for active income. So it's challenging, but we've definitely experienced a lot of hesitancy trying to get people to come to Western Massachusetts. And, for what it's worth, we understand.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of like, you guys are doing a good job of it, is like educating folks on like how, how does it compare to the Southies, the Easties of the world? And I get that issue all the time when like, Grafton or Marlboro or Hudson. I mean, those are a little more like central compared to like out there. But still, like people are like, it's not Boston. It's not greater Boston. It's not, inside, Waltham, Watertown, Revere. Like that's, I think the education is the most important piece.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you've got $1 million you're looking to invest and grow conservatively, yeah, okay. Take some stabs in greater Boston, you'll be all right. But if you've got, if you're working with 100 grand, 200, you've got to be a little bit more realistic about how far that money's going to go in a certain market.
Yeah, totally. One of the biggest hurdles that I have is, I work with clients on getting them into multifamily homes. And a lot of them are like, oh, all right, well, I want to do the whole like house hack, kind of what we talked about that I did here, where it's like, I want to rent out one side and like live in the other for free. It's like, that's impossible to do it in Boston.
Really hard.
Right. And like you try to educate them. It's like, hey, the cap rates are a lot stronger when the further you move west, the cash flow is a lot better. And they're like, yeah, but like, the appreciation is not as much. Like you're not going to get as much equity in 3 or 4 years. It's like, I don't know if I really agree with that. And you're going to be cash flowing all those 3 or 4 years before you even decide to do anything with that equity.
What's interesting is like you look at Springfield, Massachusetts, and it's a couple years behind some of the other markets like Brockton, for example. But 2 families are trading for over 400 now in Springfield. And like, a couple years ago in Brockton, we remember when 2 families were hitting 4 and we were like, whoa. Like I remember we had to convince somebody to buy a 9-bedroom triple decker with a lot of parking in the best neighborhood of Brockton for 300 grand.
Wow.
It was hard to convince her. And now
$1 million.
Now it's $1 million.
Crazy.
Now it's $1 million. So like you can get that appreciation. The one of the things that's kind of crazy, Springfield has about 150,000 people in it. Pretty big community. It's the 3rd largest. And affordable housing is a hot topic market pretty much everywhere you go. But one of the leading organizations out there is screaming for over 40,000 more units of affordable housing. And, Massachusetts is spending a lot more money in that area. So it's like, yeah, it's not as sexy to be in Springfield as it is in Boston. I get that. I totally understand that. There's a lot of cool amenities that are local here that you kind of have to look a little bit harder for. It's got its other pros and cons, but you can certainly get into an area that already has a lot of demand, and that demand is rising the prices. We are... From an appreciation perspective, I believe we've been outpacing Boston in Western Massachusetts, and we're still.
I've heard that.
We're still over. We're still over market listing prices inside 18 days. So we're still closing in the regular market.
Right.
So I think a bit of it is education perspective, because a lot of people, same thing with East Boston and Chelsea, like 6-7 years ago they didn't want to go to East Boston. No way. Much less go to Chelsea,
which
is even worse.
Like,
MS-13's there killing everybody. Like, it's like that was it. And if you don't know any better, you just hear the headline or the rumor and you buy into it.
Sure. Yeah, it's crazy. Are you seeing, I think post-COVID was like a transition in the market where pre-COVID, you had all these young professionals like in Boston, right? Like everyone's commuting into the office. That's East Boston was good, right? It was like affordable. But what I've noticed now, especially kind of being closer to Worcester, and I'm curious if you're seeing the same in Springfield, where it's like you see all these young professionals in Worcester that never used to be like that. Like you go, like I remember when we first moved here several years ago, like we'd go out to a restaurant. It's like, it's like kind of quiet. No one's really there. Now it's like packed. Like there's kids running around. It's like, it's awesome. I don't know. Are you guys seeing that in Springfield as well, or?
It's slower.
Yeah.
It's slower. We don't have I think one way you can really tell the kind of development of that community is if they have new construction going on. And in Holyoke, we do not. We can't. The cost of construction is still too high compared to what you can rent it for. In Northampton, where you're talking about that tunnel bar, they have new construction. They're more developed, they're more saturated, more people want to live there than they do in Holyoke. So the market can support that. For us, our kind of niche is really just redeveloping what's already existing.
Sure.
And you can get it below replacement costs, fix it up. And we are seeing movement, we are seeing job growth, even though technically the community is shrinking. Western Massachusetts, lots of people are leaving the city, which for a lot of people is generally a concern. But at the same time, one thing that's interesting is that like,
Where are they going? Like, where are they going east?
I'm not entirely sure because even the Section 8 vouchers farther east are outpacing Western Mass.
Right.
But we've seen some of our lowest levels of poverty leave Holyoke. Our median income has grown. Our average income has grown.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like, in some ways, the community is shrinking, but it kind of feels like it's breathing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of divided up into like, all communities are like this. What's a better area to be in? What's the area you don't want to be in? We tend to, down the hill in the valley, that's your most distressed areas. That's your most room for improvement. And there's fewer and farther kind of players in that market.
Are you seeing, I'm seeing with some of the ones that we have is like the tightening up on a lot of the vouchers and what you were able to do before when you weren't like, they would fund security deposits. They would fund, last month in advance. Now, I mean, I'm getting letters where it's like, we're not doing that anymore. So that was my concern. And like, I even got a letter the other day where it's like, typically you kind of do your annual increase at whatever pace we were traditionally moving at. It's like, no more increases. Are you seeing that out in Springfield as well, or?
It's to some degree. Not as much pushback on the increases because a 2-bedroom apartment is still $1,450. Like, by and large, it's like pretty inexpensive.
So,
you're not going to find a 2-bedroom for less than $1,500 in any halfway decent city of Massachusetts.
Right.
So, but on the rental shares, seeing some pushback. We don't have anything to do with it. They just send us updates.
Sure.
But I think they are they're not just letting people kind of ride scot-free as much anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
They have to prove hardship a little bit more.
Totally.
We actually, a few months ago, we were working to bring a tenant from a different, someone else's building into ours. And they actually wouldn't renew her voucher into a new building until she got a job. She had to show them the end. Somehow she'd gotten, I don't know if she had a job at the time she got her voucher when she moved in that apartment or what the exact circumstance was. But yeah, she had to get a job to renew her voucher or show some sort of income source. She ended up figuring it out and staying where she was. But little things like that are just like, oh, they're just trying to tighten up on some of the things they were probably just, I don't know, unintentionally just turning an eye to, and just like, oh, okay, well, whatever, check, next, But people still try to find ways around it,
May have to take a pause, man.
I think I think your alarm's going off.
Totally.
Caleb, we can edit, right? Yeah.
No, that shouldn't be in it.
We can.
The realities of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
The internet does a great job of making life seem different than what it is.
Yeah.
And I'll see it, you can really see it when you go to an event or something, right? And you experience it, and you're even if it's good or bad, whatever, and then you go home, and then a day later you see some a YouTube highlight, 2 or 3 of the event, right? Maybe more than just the 30-second, but something even if it's a little bit more in depth, and you're
it was not that much
the
fun.
emotion,
It was not.
the emotion I'm getting from this video was different from the emotion that I was getting when I was there.
I'll tell you what, per case in point, we went to Morgan Wallen on Friday.
Yeah.
We got there at we got to the parking lot at 4. We hung out. We heard he was going to come on at 7:30. We walked in there. Miranda Lambert and Corey Kent had already played from 7:30 till 9:45. They were playing background DJ music. The dude was supposed to come out way earlier. And I remember a lot of people, some people were leaving. They're this is taking way too long. And, we had a good time, but it was and then you see the Instagrams, and it's dang, he smashed the guitar with Gronkowski. That was it's man, that took 3 hours to get there.
Right.
We were sitting in the bleachers for a long time. But yeah, anyways, it's a good time.
Yeah.
But speaking, I was just thinking right now, talking about the educational piece of like educating folks, like we should do like some sort of event that like talks about like, hey, what's going on in like the Worcester, like out, like we call it like the West event, get people to meet in like kind of Worcester or something. That would be cool to do.
You can team up if you want.
That would be cool. Like, cause it's kind of like halfway to Springfield. We can do like, hey, all these Boston people. Cause I think that's like the biggest gripe that I have is like, how do you educate people and like show them? And I think, I don't know if you guys have this, but with a lot of the clients that I work with, it's like it's like patience. Like they don't, it takes a little while for them to really understand. And rather than understand and like reap the benefits, they're just like, whatever. Like, let's just go to like the status quo.
Yeah.
Well,
I think just kind of speaking for myself, trying to put myself in that position, like, it's 2025. So maybe in like 2020, call it like 2020 to 2022. If I had been looking to buy a house or move to an area, it would have been like more Boston Metro.
Totally.
And it's like, okay, maybe I compromise a little bit to find something that makes more sense. Like I'm not buying in Southie anytime soon, but like, okay, but I'm still this is kind of where I wanted to be. And then you just, you slowly just come around in a sense.
You get worn down.
Yeah, you get worn down, like
Exhausted.
things happen. And then like you sort of keep making these like little emotional pivots. And then, now ended up in the Worcester area. And whereas like 3-4 years ago, I'd be like, oh, that's so far away. I don't want to live out there. Worcester, it's not close enough to like the Garden, I gotta see the Celtics play. Which was a great part about living in Boston. Just being able to like pop into a Red Sox game in the evening.
Oh my God,
But, you get older. Priorities change.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm here and I'm like, oh, this is an amazing place to live.
Yeah. It's awesome. You get more land. You don't have to fight for parking. Everyone's different though. Like some people, they don't want to, they don't want to leave. Like, out in Holyoke, you probably get acres and acres of land. Right. And it's like, especially if you're having kids and stuff, like I think that's awesome where it's like, out by us. I mean, can play golf whenever you want because it's not burdened by, city traffic or whatever it may be.
Right.
But it is good to pop into a Red Sox game at the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Certainly miss some of the amenities.
Yes.
Yeah. Living in Quincy was awesome.
Oh my God. Marina Bay.
Yep. Yep.
Were you guys ever a part of the, wasn't there like a long time ago, Quincy had this like disco, what was it, Water Club?
Yeah.
Were you
Water
ever part of that
Yeah.
era? I think I missed that era.
Fun.
It was awesome, right?
It was great, man. You're
we were there a couple
partying
times.
on the water.
In Boston,
Yeah.
technically.
Water Club
Quincy.
still exists. It's a bit nicer now.
Is really? Oh, interesting.
Like they have better quality food.
Yeah.
It's still a bar, and I'm sure it's still a late night bar.
Yeah.
I don't know like how.
Did it not change ownership? Is it not a new
I
name?
don't. Maybe
Was it, like,
I'm
on
pretty
the
sure it's
beach?
still called Water Club.
It's on the dock in the marina where all the boats are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it changed ownership, but I'm pretty sure it's still called Water Club.
Yeah.
They just became a little bit more higher quality and less just like cheap drinks, shitty food, and like a sticky dance floor.
Which is cool.
Which is
fun.
why we were there.
Why we were there. That was like the closest party spot outside of being downtown in the theater district or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although one of the things that still kind of stinks about Massachusetts nightlife in general is that it closes so early.
Totally.
We close so early, and even if we close at 2, they're doing like last calls at 1:15.
Totally.
They stop letting people in at like 12:45.
Totally.
So if you're out and about, like you got to find your spot and you got to stay.
Yeah.
You can't be bouncing around.
Yeah, we were just like we were talking earlier. We were just in Spain, and it was funny because we would go out to dinner especially because we had him around like 7 or 8, and that was like we didn't even have to book a reservation because that was like practically going out to dinner here at like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
like folks don't go out to like dinner until like 9-10, and then they go out after that, right? And like they don't close over there, which I think like the quality of life is like so much better when you're looking for that, right? When you're looking for a late night, I mean, you get in those mood where it's like, hey, let's go out to dinner, and then like let's go hang out and have a few somewhere else. But that was, I mean, I remember, like, again, without getting into too much detail, this is off camera. We would, like, I remember, like, kind of coming out of COVID, it's like nothing was open past like 9 o'clock, and we would all hang out at like someone's apartment, and that was like the only thing to do. I feel like that still is the only thing to do. You know,
I mean, you were breaking COVID protocol.
No, we were not.
Breaking.
I mean, we were near the water, weren't we?
Y'all read that way. That was certainly a bit of a shock when I moved out to Holyoke, and I was like, food or
God.
something. And then, like, if you're not at a restaurant by like 7:30 or 8 o'clock,
Kitchen's closed.
you are really limited. You are really limited because they are closing early, and was
even Sundays. Sundays, like, you want to go. I think we had this issue. I thought it was maybe like Sunday breakfast. I don't remember when it was, but we had, like, you want to go somewhere for like lunch or breakfast like breakfast, not so bad, but lunch on a Sunday, like all these restaurants are closed on Sundays.
weird.
Which is crazy. Even Mondays too. Like, a lot of them are like Wednesday to Saturday. But yeah.
That kind of makes sense when you start to think about like the labor staffing and how many people they have to have. And yeah, there's a lot of kind of like smaller little spots still,
Sure.
but there's also a lot more chains out there.
Sure.
Like Memorial Drive in Chicopee has like a tremendous amount of vehicle traffic, and that's just like land of chains.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird.
Like ones you probably haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's like, well, you guys want to go to Chili's?
Yeah.
There's one of those.
Southwest egg rolls are pretty good. There's a Chick-fil-A that's frequently visited by me there. Yeah.
I don't know. What's your favorite fast food? Do you have one?
God.
And just tell me why it's Chipotle.
No, actually, the Golden Arches. I mean, you can't. We just went. We just on the way back from Morgan Wallen, we stopped at the Golden Arches. It's like that will forever for me be like the best. Like, when you think of like fast food, it's like that's where you got to go. And now they have the chicken snack wrap that was like gone for a while. It's back. For those who don't know, it's back.
It is back.
Better than ever.
And you could just get the little like chicken fingers or the
Yes.
chicken strips.
Yep.
You don't have to get McNuggets and feel like you're 4 years old.
Right.
Can I have some of that cardboard with a side of barbecue, please?
But it's What about you guys? What is the go-to?
I had a hankering for the Golden Arches the other day too.
Yeah. Like, if you're in an airport and you have like the best,
And I have options.
you have options. Where are you going?
to the place with the Bloody Marys.
The Chili's.
If it's in the airport,
Yeah.
airport is Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
having-
you're on the run. You can't sit down. You got to grab and go.
Well, I mean, if it's truly convenience, then probably Mickey D's. But if I can sit down, I'm going to Chipotle.
Chipotle
Always,
all day long. Yeah.
all day long. Yeah.
Now, do you do the vinaigrette with the sour cream? Shake it up. Oh my God.
Nope.
Is this one of those Chipotle secrets?
It's like the hack.
I'm all
like
about
double
the
meat, like half and half meat. Would you really end up with a double?
Yeah. No, I'm all about the hot corn salsa. That for me is the flavor that makes everything.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I've been doing the honey chicken. Yep.
Is it a
That's
new one?
new.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, rice, beans, veggies, honey chicken, the sour cream.
Do they still have the brisket? The brisket was unbelievable.
They still have the
Or-
brisket?
The barbacoa?
No.
No, the brisket's gone, right?
Oh.
Barbacoa they have.
Yeah, they've always had
Barbacoa
that.
was,
Yeah.
But that's different
like-
than the brisket.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, the brisket was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to like to do it in the quesadillas until they stopped letting me.
Yeah, dude, you can't get a quesadilla at Chipotle by going up and ordering it in person. You have to do it through the app and then pick it up.
Interesting.
So if you
Why?
go-
Because it takes a little longer?
I don't know. Chipotle is like that toxic girlfriend that just completely
make their own
always
rules.
lets you down, but you just keep
dang
going
it.
back. You're just like, oh! Sorry, I just want to let you know we're out of this, and our soda machine doesn't work. I'm like, take my money.
All right, I'll be here next week or tomorrow.
Right? I had a couple of those. Yeah. But I think, that was getting back to the food scene. That was one of the bigger challenges, was if you're not at a restaurant early. So you kind of have to you have to create sometimes new ways. But, Northampton is open later. There's a couple restaurants around, but
Sure.
there's not the abundance like out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not like, you have to go seek them out. you know, they're not like, oh, I can go to this area and I know I can go to, you know, I could go to a number of different places. Northampton might be the best example of that in Western Mass. But like there's good restaurants in West Springfield, but there's like, you have ones over here and then one's on the other side of town. And
There's one in Springfield. Have you guys heard of the, God, what is it called? The Puerto Rican bakery, I think. It's like Puerto Rican bakery too.
There's a few of them.
Oh my God. I mean, there's probably like a bunch of Puerto Rican bakeries, but there's one that's actually called Puerto Rican bakery. I used to go there from Amherst out to Springfield probably once a week.
Just for it?
Just for that. So you go, like they open the tray, you know, rice, meat, your veggies, whatever. It's like a buffet style. It was unbelievable.
Okay.
Is it off 291?
Yes. It's kind of right near the highway.
Yeah.
Let me see.
This place?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, you try to go there on a Saturday or Sunday, you're waiting hours.
Really?
It is unbelievable.
Really?
If you guys like Hispanic food, it's one of the best.
Holyoke and Springfield has the highest concentration of Puerto Ricans
Really?
per capita outside of Puerto Rico.
Wow. I did not. That's a good fact.
Yep.
Good fact.
Super duper Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Yeah, down in South Holyoke, where a handful of our projects are, 3 years ago, they actually got the Main Street corridor got designated as a Puerto Rican cultural arts district.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So to kick it off, was actually a project we were really involved in. Probably one of the more fun things we've done too is with a lot of new mural installations down in Holyoke, you know, because you've been to Lynn, right? You see all those paintings and the murals and stuff, and like just adds color and like liveliness to the neighborhood.
It's like an art district. It's just, yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, it was interesting when before the murals were started in Lynn, City of Sin, you know, it was like, it was a different product, it was a different market. And now you have those Class A high-rise buildings going up. And it's different. And it's weird because like you can't necessarily say any of the art caused the value to go up, but there's certainly a correlation because like less littering in front of the art, less vandalism. Most people aren't vandalizing other artists' work. So it was kind of like this natural facelift with spray paint.
That's interesting. I never really thought about it like that, where it's like, hey, this is here to stay and no one's going to kind of damage it.
And even the cool thing about street art in general is it's meant to be changed. It's not supposed to be there forever, although a lot of them do because there's always more walls. But yeah, I mean, probably in the last like 3 years, there's been, I don't know, close to 25, 30 murals.
That's awesome.
Now that went up.
Now, is it the same, like several people that are a bulk of the art, or is it like completely...
A lot of them are internationally renowned artists.
Really?
All over the world.
Interesting. That's very cool.
Yeah, a lot of artists from like the Caribbean islands, but we have some from, you know, across the pond as well. And then the street art scene is that is very local. So like when you think of vandalism or even the fancy versions of vandalism for everybody that doesn't really know anything, like that scene is very local. And that's really the heartbeat of this kind of art scene. And then as you get kind of, you know, like anything, you get more commercialized, you get a little bit bigger, then some of those more significant pieces become, you know, there's more of a market for private companies to invest in those artists. Although what was done in Holyoke, most of it was donated. So
interesting.
Yeah.
And the city, it was like a lot of city sponsorship?
First year, no. Second year, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it attracted? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
100%.
I gotta get out there. You guys gonna give me the tour?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Come on
that'd
out.
be cool.
Come on out. It's cool. I really love the art scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just in a community that's kind of like has less going on in it. It's one of those kind of nice ways to bring people out together to experience something, and it's life.
Totally.
You're breathing life into it.
Totally. But yeah, what else besides this little guy about to make his way over here? Do you want me to hold him? Okay.
Yeah. So what's new with you? Anything in particular that you're trying to do in the next year or two?
Year or two, like anyone, hoping we can see some movement in rates. I think that's been fantastic. We just saw that happen the other day. I think we just got into a single family flip project in Needham.
Nice.
That's been exciting within itself. This is, you know, traditionally, I think I told you, and I don't know if we got this on camera, but traditionally I've always done kind of multifamily work. I remember years ago, I was in college at UMass at the time. I came home for one summer. My dad had me taking down horsehair plaster in an apartment in Ashland, Massachusetts. And it took me all day. I mean, there's a picture of me with like a mask on and I had dust like all over me. It took me hours and hours. And my dad had dropped me off there and said, hey, like just rip everything down, bag it, and I'll come back later and we'll figure it out. Came back later and I was like pissed. I was like, that was ridiculous. Like the amount of stuff I probably inhaled that day, and just like I probably had like a little paper mask on that like definitely didn't work. I was like, is this like worth it? Like why, this seems like a lot of work for probably not a lot of profit or whatever. And my dad's like, are you kidding? He's like, I'm making like $3,000 a month. Right. And I was like, holy crap, like $3,000 a month. Like that was like what I was making out of college working 9 to 5, let alone he was like ripping up just like an apartment and renting it out. And that was like the story where I told you where he was like, save 10 grand and you can start making $3,000 a month. I'm like, holy shit, save 10 grand. I'll make my money back in 3 months. Like, this is unbelievable. He fooled me. Obviously I had to come back with like 20 grand after I gave him 10 grand. But I think one thing that's worked for me is like doing the multifamily stuff. We've bought in a handful, educating people, right? And trying to educate people now that I've moved out of the city, moved out here, is like showing other folks how to do that. But going back to like the project we're doing now in Needham is like, holy hell, like this is a different world. Like doing residential, buy and holds, like it's, you can go in, do some new kitchens, new floors, new paint, new countertops, new appliances, like pretty, rental grade, it's pretty standard. But when you're doing a single family flip, it's like, you got to work, like, what is the design going to look like? What are people attracted to the area? What are they looking for? Like, especially out there, it's like, where's the au pair suite? It's like, what? Au pair suite? Like, what does that include? Right? Like, oh, you need a wet bar. Like you need, it's like, oh my God. So
why does your au pair need a wet bar?
Yeah, right. But yeah, you learn, it's learning a lot. I think one of the biggest hurdles for us is finding like good people. I think something that I've recently started in my business, I've recently launched a real estate firm where it's like, I've always, over the course of the past several years, is I've had clients like ask me like, hey, do you have a guy for this? Do you have a guy for paint? Do you have a guy for floors? And eventually I ended up just building my own sort of property management renovation business where it's like, because even when I was referring people out, all the questions would come back to me regardless. And I'd be there like meeting the paint guy and going over different specs. It's like, wow, it's like pretty time consuming. So, kind of built out like a multifamily advisory renovation business and just like starting to get into flips. But going back to it is, I think the hardest thing that I'm having is like finding like quality work. And you and I talked about this earlier where it's like, just yesterday we had tree removal. We have like this pool in the back that we want to renovate and finish, and there's trees hanging all over the house. We had one guy come out and quote $15,000 to trim up a couple of trees and like take out like 3 pines. Another guy came out, was $8,000. It's like, wow, holy crap. We just saved $7,000 by talking to another guy. Another guy came back, was like $4,800. It's like, holy crap. Like, why is there such a disparity? Now, granted, I'm sure quality of work is different, right? Like finding quality of like, one painter is better than the next. One, carpenter is probably better than the next. And that's why they charge certain prices. But I think where we are at is like one thing that I try to do, especially whether I'm doing a renovation for myself or for a client, is like sifting out who the good people are at their work and who have fair prices. We were saying like, hey, there's the guy that's charging $15,000 for the tree removal job. Like, he's probably not going to get it through me, but he'll get it from someone. And he might not be doing as many jobs, but he's doing a third of the amount of jobs, and has probably less risk to a certain extent, So that's a bit, I think that's like the hardest thing that we're having. Like, interior designers. You helped me out with shout out to Amy Lynn Interiors. Like she's been phenomenal. But we talked to like 4 or 5 different interior designers before that. And it's like, how do you find, good people, ones that you can trust, looking at references? It takes a while. And I think if you haven't done that extensively in the past, that can consume a lot of the time during the construction process. So it's all a learning lesson, and you guys have been through this many a time.
Yeah. It takes time doing like residential development. It takes just time being in that game to build a network because it's so many different pieces that have to come together to make a project, to bring a project from start to finish, and to not only just bring in like one person of each that you trust, but you want multiples of sort of each vendor or each supplier, people that you can trust. And then you really, from there, you also want to, like, I like to dig into like, okay, what are the unit economics of plumbing and HVAC and electrical, and like break it down to the smallest unit that I can to understand, okay, like where is this cost coming from? Like this plumber gave me a quote of $30,000, but like how much of that is material? How much of that is labor? Is he doing the labor, or do they have staff? Is it him and an apprentice, or is it like he's like a manager? How much are they paying them? What's his overhead? To try and sort of figure out, okay, if I was running that business, what would be like what would it cost me, and what would be sort of my profit expectation, and trying to figure out and using that to try to determine what's fair for you to be paying. So like if that tree removal, if it was one guy or 2 guys in a truck and they're out there for a day, and he charges you $15,000, you're like, damn, I should be in the tree business. But like, 2 guys in a truck and like some equipment for a day and at $4,000 or $4,800, whatever it was, it's like, okay, that's a little bit more reasonable. That kind of like, I can kind of wrap my head around how that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would try to have that same thought process, no matter who it is.
Sure.
That's because as a developer, you're kind of always the client.
Sure, totally.
And so you have to break that down for every piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. And I think it comes with, like you said, like experience. Like, again, the $4,800 tree guy, and again, this goes with anything. This goes with like electrical work, plumbing work, whatever. Like his quality of work may be way different than the guy at 15 grand or whatever, right? Like this $4,800 guy might take out like the neighbor's house, right? And it becomes a problem, right?
Make sure he has insurance.
So, he definitely has insurance. But I think when you've been doing this, and we were talking, I mean, we're all in our 30s, right? We're all fairly young. Once you're doing this for so long, it's like you have the guys that you go to and you rely on them, and you just move like so much faster. Like that's like the speed. Like that's the biggest thing that I've learned now that we're getting into flipping, where it's like you got to be fast. Like time kills your deals, right? And it's like, you can't. And to your case in point, it's like you only have so much time when you're getting into a deal before you know if you're going to do it or not, right? Like you don't have time to do those granular things. So you kind of take a leap of faith. But at the same time, it's like, if you don't have to worry about that, where if you have your all your MEPs buttoned up and who your designer is going to be, or your architect or whatever, and that you're going to get a great price, you're going to get quality work. It's like, and then you save 6 months off your project. It's like, there goes whatever errors you could have made in the first place with going to someone else. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's that's like the biggest hurdle, is like, how do you move fast without making mistakes? Because we've already made mistakes. Like full transparency. It's because like we're moving too fast, and we think we need this and we need that. Like we called we did a huge survey, plot plan, topography. We didn't need any of that, or we just thought we might have. So it's like, let's just get it done. It's like, oh, there goes a few grand. Yeah. So.
Well, the tough answer is it's impossible to not make mistakes.
Well, never say never.
Going fast or slow.
Yeah, it is. And it's interesting. We've also learned that you really have to double check the subcontractor's work in relation to even the plans. And we had a project in Chelsea actually with another guy that worked on some foundation work, and the foundation was actually installed incorrectly, and it wasn't matching something on the plans. And the guy on the plans was pointing to him to say, how did you not know this? And he was saying, why wasn't this reflected correctly? And we were like, oh man, we were supposed to double check that, and we didn't know that.
And what was the fix to that? Because that's
cut out huge sections of the foundation and redesign steel-based plates.
wow.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was
and
horrible.
delays. There
Very-
he goes
Yeah.
another month or two.
There's a $60,000 mistake.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's
Those-
a 60,000, and it's almost like, some people have been like, well, did you think about like litigating that? And I guess you technically.
I'm gonna grab him. So he's
We can wrap soon with the we got
Yeah.
a grand finale visitor.
yes. All right, say hi.
That sounded like a hi to me.
Say hi. The one question I did want to talk about now that we're seeing some changes happen, what are you guys predicting in the next 12 to 24 months, right? With the state of inventory, deals being hard to find now, prices. I mean, I'm curious what your guys' prediction is.
It's interesting you say that, because like we find deals out there all the time. The
Yeah.
biggest hesitation is seems to be getting people to come out.
Yeah.
That seems to be the big disconnect.
Yeah.
For the next 2 years, I'll ask the guy with the economy to go.
Oh God. I mean,
Who knows?
Come on, give us some insight.
Come on, give us some insight. What's going to happen?
I have no idea.
How's
I think you're
Bitcoin
gonna
doing?
see a lot of more of the same in some areas. But I mean, I don't know. It's like if rates go down, then you're gonna see probably
Spike in
yeah.
inventory.
You're gonna see we're gonna see a spike in demand, and possibly inventory, because they realize that they can maybe get they can get more for their home if they were thinking about. It's like, oh, you may see a rise in both, because people that are locked into a low mortgage now, they don't want to exit it.
Right.
If they see rates come down, they say, okay, well, maybe now is my time to like sell and I can get into something new at like a comparable rate.
But now will that settle prices, right? Because I think I think there was a point coming out of COVID where it was like prices were ridiculous, right? Like soaring no matter what. I think they've calmed down now that rates have gone, have been high for the past like 3 years. But everyone's like, oh, I'm waiting for rates to come down and whatnot. But I think if rates do come down, inventory will go up. And like, I don't think it necessarily means that prices are going to still keep, I don't know, like rising.
And also like how many, in some of these markets where like Greater Boston, if you're talking like a single family, you can't buy a single family in Greater Boston for like less than $750,000.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like it's something that's like halfway livable.
You're right.
Like, how many buyers are there at that price point?
Right.
And the majority of them are like closer to $1 million.
Right.
How many people can afford a $6,000 a month mortgage? Or
A lot.
crazy.
whatever it is?
Terrifyingly a lot is what is crazy.
Well, I guess they like sort of they're like, the dial that they play with that is, restricting the amount of housing that like the new stock that can come online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they control demand a couple different ways by manipulating the interest rates and by
It's
controlling the stock.
It's interesting because it seems to be like a lot of luxury still moves, and kind of on the opposite side in the lower end space where kind of we work. There's still, the rates come down, great. They still need housing.
Sure.
They're still screaming for it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like there's just not enough supply to take care of the demand that's there. So if the rates come down, I don't even really think that it's going to actually relieve, truthfully, any of the rental pressure. I think if anything, it'll be good for the landlords.
Right.
Because like that's the one thing that like Massachusetts has that's going for it. Like that's so great is that you just have a massive demand for rentals.
And that has never gone away. Even in 2008, that hasn't gone away.
Because people want to live here.
Yeah.
People want to live here. Schools,
yeah.
And you're right. Like people that would never look at Worcester that work in Boston are now like, I'm just going to commute from Worcester. And then we're seeing like, as some of the overflow from price points, we're starting to see Worcester come a little bit west. We're starting to see Hartford, Connecticut come north and like feed us. So we're starting to see those kind of feeder markets. But at the end of the day, I mean, when you put up an apartment for list or market or whatever, we still get a lot of people that want to get it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think in the next year or two, like, I don't know what's going to happen with the market. I could see outside things happening to make it kind of something big happen. But I think one of the really interesting arenas that are going to probably be highly profitable and will have a lot of need is like elder care services, dementia, Alzheimer's, any type of substance abuse, transitional housing, because we have more people addicted than ever.
Right.
So, as we're trying to pull them off, a lot of them can't, just get put into a regular home and operate. They need to be redeveloped, if you will.
And that's a whole nother business model I've heard that is very successful.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. I think, if you look at it on paper, it can be very financially rewarding. But if you're not going into it for the right reasons and you're just looking at money, then your quality of service will deteriorate, as will your income. And then it's all, at the end of the day, it's like no matter what business you decide to go into, it's all people.
Sure. Yeah.
So you got to take care of the people, and easier said than done.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I mean, that's the sauce.
For sure. Well, I need to come out to Holyoke and see what's going on.
Come anytime.
Yeah.
Take a trip. It's not going anywhere.
And get some Chipotle. Better out there than it is out here.
Maybe. Maybe.
Depends on who's working that shift.
Right. Cool. Alex, thanks for coming on the show, bro.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, man.
This was
Thanks for
awesome.
hosting us.
Yeah, thanks. We'll have to do this again. And it's always great seeing you guys. It's good to catch up.
Absolutely. You want to let everybody know where they can find you? We'll put it in the bio.
Yes. Follow me at Alexzander Mejia with a Z on Instagram. And then have another Instagram called at the Mejia Group. And then there's an underscore under between the and the Mejia. But you'll find it in the Instagram. But thank you so much for having me, guys.
Absolutely,
this was awesome.
dude.
Appreciate you guys. Always great to see you. We'll have to do some more stuff
For sure.
Yes, sir. Everybody, thanks for checking out the WREI Talk radio show. I'm Alex. Peace. We'll see you on the next one.